Overcoming boredom. Hello, everybody. Hope you're well. Tom here. I want to talk today about overcoming boredom. And I say overcoming boredom because there are times in life where you do find yourself kicking the ground a little bit, scratching around. It kind of follows on from my last video at the start of the week about someone who has too much to do, someone who doesn't have enough to do. There is a happy medium between the two, as I said, where you find that you're actually doing okay. For myself, boredom is something we need to try and overcome. Having too much time on your hands, being bored, being driven up round the bend and up the wall is not a good thing for your mental health, not at all. So I think it's vitally important that we find something, a hobby, a passion, even if it's just taking time to do the really menial things, so that we actually do something productive with our day. Don't get me wrong, there will be times when you're not feeling it. You don't feel like going for a run. You don't feel like going for a drink. You don't feel like doing whatever it is you enjoy doing. There'll be times when you are very physically tired, mentally tired, and you want to just have some downtime. I don't mind telling you, when I do go on holiday, there's very little I do. I do go on a couple of trips usually, but most of my holidays are spent by a swimming pool or on a beach somewhere, literally just vegging out. I literally need that level of downtime from my daily life, my constant on the go-ness, shall we say. Although, as I've got older, I'm trying to be a bit more mindful of my own self-care and looking after that side of my mental health and having some time for myself a bit. But certainly boredom is an issue, and it's one we need to try and overcome. There isn't really a major excuse for being bored. There isn't really, in my opinion, an excuse for not having anything to do. There's always plenty to do. If you think about it, there's always something you can be doing. I've found that as I've got older, I have to make time for stuff that I need to do. I have to try and be doing something. But I'm not one of these people who will do something for the sake of doing it. But I do find sometimes if I've not got much on, I think long and hard about what it is I could do in that day. And when I need to, I do have that downtime as well. But I found myself weekend just gone, not so much to do. So I basically had some external coursework I had to do for one of my jobs, so I made sure I got onto that. And I knew that the date had expired. It's something I have to do yearly. So I made sure that was renewed. Not the most exciting thing to do on a weekend, but I made sure I had made time for it and that I did it, because it got some very important thing done in the time that I knew I had. And then obviously I make time for my exercise. I make time for prepping my food for the evening meal. And then on the evening I was a little bit of a loose end, so I ended up going out for a few drinks with my brother and a couple of his friends. So the fact is, and I reiterate again, there's always something you can be doing. Try and find something to overcome your boredom. Learn a new skill. Read a book. Watch a film if you have to. Go for a bike ride. Go for a walk. There isn't really any excuse to be sitting in the house bored all the time. Some people have a very low attention span, and even when you do find something to do, you'll probably still find you'll be bored. And that's a difficult thing to try and overcome. And I'm not here today to give you advice on how to get over that. What I am trying to say is try and be proactive in what you do each day. If there's something that you've been putting off and you find yourself at a loose end where you're not doing anything, then is the time maybe to do it. As I said to you a few weeks ago, I do not enjoy doing chores around the house. Far from it. I really dislike it, if I'm honest. However, if I know I've got a quiet weekend coming up where I've not got much on, I will make some time to do some chores. I will find time in my life to do the boring bits. And it is boring, let's be honest. But that boring bit will give me something to do, therefore the other boredom will not set in, if that makes sense. Guys, this is my third and final video of the week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and your energy spent here on my channel. Thank you kindly. First of three, as I said, please put down in the comment section below. Do you somebody that struggles with boredom? Is it something that you feel you can fight? Is it something that you really can't handle? At the end of the day, we've all been at some point in our lives very bored of something, very understimulated. I think it's vitally important for your own mental health, your longevity definitely, you find time to fill your days. You know, there will come a point in life where you probably retire. And retirement can actually be a killer for a lot of people because they find that they've got nothing after work. They've got no life outside of work. I don't want to be that person, and I don't want you to be that person either. Speaking from experience, having watched an uncle in the family really struggle when he retired, to the point where he had to go back to work as a 70-year-old man and work till he was 80 years old, something like that, and only actually retired when his health started to really decline, and then in that time sadly passed away. So, you know, let's not be there if we can help it. Please, if you would, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. That'd be really great. Please consider giving me a thumbs up and a like. And let's hear that bell sign go ding dong, so you know when my next content's out. Back next week with another 3 videos. As always, please, all of you, take care of yourselves, and bye for now.